Welcome back to the coverage of YCS Bochum 2016. I'm your host for the weekend, Oliver Gerben, and I'm joined here by Rob and Luke, our two commentators, experts who really know a lot about this game, obviously, and can walk you through what is going down in our feature matches. Speaking of which, we have a big one for the second round. We brought one of the big guns. He came over from America. He's from Texas. Don't mess with Texas, we know that. And he's talking business when he comes to the feature match table. Billy Break, everyone, is going to be going up against Constantin Westphal, a player from Germany, I think from around the area, who did top here and there, but never all the way to the top. So this is David versus Goliath in a way.
Pretty much.
With actually Constantine being like 2 meters tall and Billy Break not being all that tall. So it's a bit of a switcheroo, but yeah. Other than that, it fits pretty well.
And Billy Break being an absolutely huge player, because way back when he was there, I believe he was the person that actually came up with the whole Reborn Tengu Plant Synchro deck.
That was definitely his time.
Yeah.
He won like back-to-back YCSs, which is something that only very few players have been able to repeat.
There's various strategies that have been kind of pioneered by him.
Mm-hmm.
There's too long of a list,
right.
Really.
So going into this match, who do you expect to come out victorious? You gotta go with the underdog?
I think Billy.
Yeah, Billy.
Okay, I'm rooting for Constantine.
Well, also we have the fact that Billy's playing Metalfoes, which we did actually have an interview with him. He did tell us. I don't know whether it's been on screen yet, or whether that's coming on day two. But yeah, and he's playing against ABC. Oh,
yes.
We know he's playing against ABC now.
Yeah.
Yep. So, well, what's that matchup like? Because we've not seen it yet.
Yeah, so ABC, so we obviously saw that in Liverpool. It's pretty good if it goes first and you're able to make a Dragon Buster and have, just maybe 1 or 2 trap cards or whatever. You search them out with Tsukiyomi anyway, so that's quite good. Search them out, you draw cards with Tsukiyomi. So that's quite good. But if your opponent still has enough to create a scale and start, making some fusion plays, then yeah, that's kind of how the matchup goes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's if you can deal with the Dragon Buster effectively without losing too much advantage, then yeah, I think it's one of those matchups where you don't want to disassemble your Dragon Buster too early. Generally, you just leave Dragon Buster on the field to be able to gain that extra advantage. Most of the time, you want to just disassemble it straight away so that you know that I've got 3 monsters. I'm going to gain my +1 off Union Hanger, and I'm happy. Whereas in this matchup, you may want to keep it around a little longer to be able to interrupt your opponent playing those pendulum scales.
That's
okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What if Constantine goes first? Is that going to be a big deal for him?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
At that point, he wants to get that Dragon Buster out, and
so it might be a little bit about the die roll.
Yeah,
and then
make
of
some
course
headway.
we can later on in the match we're going to talk about the side decking strategies of these two guys. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's take you guys to the feature match table where round 2 feature match will be underway in no time. All right, guys, you see Billy Break on the left, Constantine on the right.
Is this the first ever time we've had a USA flag?
On a European stream, I believe it may have been.
That is a very good chance. I was just about to say that we had
Paul Cooper playing Empty Jar.
Oh yes, that's true. Paul Cooper made such a long trip to then play a deck that wasn't all that
take
consistent.
very long.
Yeah, it doesn't take very long too, but also wasn't all that consistent, and
yeah,
it let him down in that round. Let's just put it that way.
I absolutely love Billy's way of rolling a dice there.
Interviewing him yesterday, he was like, "Yeah, I'm running on no sleep at all, but I'm still super hyped." And I'm like, "What, Billy?
It was
Billy,
like
are you okay?"
The 3rd day he hadn't slept.
Yeah, and he was just like, "Yeah, I've been traveling. I went from like Dallas to Florida, and then Florida to somewhere else, and then that place to Bochum, and I'm fine. I'm just running on fumes right now." And I'm like, "Wow, Billy, calm yourself down." He was like so happy. It was so energetic. It was amazing.
But he's always like this, as far as I know him.
Yeah. I was talking to Jake Quincy afterwards, saying, "Oh yeah, he's like super energetic." He's like, "Yeah, that's just Billy. That's what he's like all the time." Okay, so here's the special bit about Billy's deck. I assume he's going to go for the combo here. Yeah, he's going to go for Scout. So, pay 800. Everyone loves that. He's going to be able to get his Monolith.
Billy Break will have life points at some point. There we go. There they are.
Yeah. Gotta love them.
Okay, he's got his 2 Summoner's Arts in his opening hand, which means he's going to use both of them.
Yeah. He's going to go be able to get Volflame.
but good for him that he goes first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's painful decision.
Billy's got an amazing hand here.
Yeah.
His hand is essentially whatever he wants it to be. That's silvered, I think. Silvered.
It could be.
Oh, stealing maybe.
Billy will win because he's playing Reborn Tango. Okay, that's an opinion. Let's just put it that way. Okay, looking at Constantine's hand, does he have enough to fight back? Because that was the big question at the beginning.
He's actually got quite a decent chunk of things to play through here. Because he's got
A gadget and
yeah, he's got the gadget, which is a threat. Twin Twisters, a threat. Instant Fusion, another threat. Kind of all these things are things that you're gonna want to stop off
Right.
with the likes of, let's say, Alcahest or Infinity, because I think that's his main play actually. Billy's main play is he's gonna be able to go into Infinity here, which is pretty damn strong.
Yeah, that's really quick.
We've seen that over the course of the past year.
It's always bad when part of the card name is an adjective like infinity, when you're just always feeling like I should say it's infinitely
Oh,
strong
wow.
or something like that.
And down comes the Maxi.
Yeah, so
That's also good to have in your opening hand.
Oh yeah, definitely. Maxi, especially against a deck that likes to special summon a lot.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised he didn't Maxi preemptively here.
Yeah, I was very surprised at
He
that.
should have just as soon as the pendulum scale went down, he should have Maxied.
Because I think that Maxi is something that kind of means that people have to stop their play. Either they're doing
Yeah.
that or they're taking the Maxi challenge.
I think Billy would have just played through here. He'd have still special summoned them all, Infinitied, and then that just left it there.
Yeah. Which would make sense.
Yeah, that would make complete sense.
I was like, oh, he can make a busted play. That would make sense.
Yeah,
It's when you look
Yeah.
at it from this perspective, it's a bit.
yeah. Yeah, even like playing through Maxi into Infinity, into Cyberdragon Infinity would have been perfectly acceptable there.
Alex Titcomb actually commented on the stream. His opponent looked so tilted, and actually I was in the feature match area when Constantine entered, and Billy was already sitting down. He was a bit ahead, and he came in the feature match area, and he looked, and he was like, nah. Like his face showed like a whole song of sorrow. Really, he was really down when he saw Billy. He's like, nah, really, I have to go up against you now. He was really not happy. So yes, he was not happy about this matchup.
Yeah, this is the thing about making a name for yourself like this.
Yeah,
You
you
know-
got an advantage before the game even started.
Yeah. And actually, had Marcello has said to us in the past, he feels much better being in the feature match area than he does outside.
Yeah, when you're used to it to some degree, then
Yeah.
no reason not to play there.
So actually, Billy decided not to go up to Infinity here. That's kind of surprising.
So the Maxi stopped him
Yeah,
in a way.
yeah. I think maybe he just has so much stuff with Kieran as well that he just didn't need to give him any more cards.
It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
So many
Look at
cards.
all this stuff that Billy has.
Is that correct?
So he's most likely, yeah. So Kieran first because it's the most reusable of all of his cards, really. And then if desperate times come along, then he can use the full Metalfoes fusion and get the Alcahest out.
Right.
And you know the another key thing that Billy said yesterday, his Cliffort monsters, they're normal monsters, which means they can be used to make some of those quite specific fusion plays that the Metalfoes cards sometimes need.
Right. So, would you agree with his choice to not go for Infinity?
Well, to be honest, I really don't want to disagree with Billy Break.
I know, but that's why I'm putting you on the spot, obviously.
No, I think that
He's playing lots of fusions. What's he going to go for?
probably Alcahest, just to try and interrupt even more. Yeah, I guess that's why he decided to keep that so that he could full Metalfoes fusion into it as well as use Kieran effectively. So yeah, I think either play was kind of was fine. I guess the only thing that playing Infinity would have got you would be that you kind of had that as well as the full Metalfoes fusion
Right.
still sticking around. Whereas now he's got I think that's Mithrilium, so he didn't go into Alcahest.
Yeah,
But still,
it is
even Mithrilium is kind of annoying because if you're going to destroy it, then it's if you're going to destroy it, then it goes it replaces itself. As well as the fact that he's got Combination on the field, so Combination's going to activate and be able to special summon back one of his Metalfoes monsters, which looks like Silvered there.
There's
This
the
is,
Confusion.
this is what I was talking about. So Constantine here
He
is
has
able
a lot,
to the
yeah.
multiple threats that he's able to put out. So the first one being the gold gadget play, then Twin Twisters was the next one to threaten the back row, and now here's the instant fusion play of Norden. So there's potential for him to still do a lot with this.
Yeah.
So Kieran's been used. Everything's been used now. Constantine's kind of got an open field.
But we see a very nice way of how this matchup unfolds with both players having pretty strong opening hands.
Yeah.
It's not one of these one-sided thingies where one has a great opening hand, the other's like, okay, let's go to game 2. It's both of these guys, they brought some guns to the gunfight rather than some knives or something.
Or cards.
Or cards, maybe,
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
As expected, he's going to go into Tsukiomi to try and search for that third piece of the Dragon Buster, because if he manages to get it, then that's going to be really, really good for him.
Right, so we cannot really say who's ahead in a way, because it all depends on the next few draws, I guess.
Yeah, they're both kind of stood on slowly cracking ice here, and it's kind of who's going to fall first. Okay, so that's the end phase. Constantine here is...
Didn't really find anything. He got a silver gadget in hand, Constantine, and actually a assault core.
So what's
Yeah.
Billy going to draw into?
Summoner's
Hatred,
Art.
Summoner's Art.
That's a good card.
Yeah. This is... yeah.
And it's actually such a good card that
Yeah.
Constantine says, all right, let's call that a day.
Yeah. I mean,
What a
at that
great
point,
build.
he basically bounced his opponent's field.
Yeah.
What was Constantine going
But-
to do?
Very
Yeah.
interesting from him to decide to not give his opponent an extra card and decide not to go Infinity.
No, I think
in
that's-
hindsight, it looks like a very good play.
No, definitely. It was the best choice, I think, because he could the way that he used his full Metalfoes fusion to the kind of
Yep.
the maximum potential.
And also, you have to keep in mind, we said that Constantine did have quite a few tricks up
Yeah.
his sleeve, and he
Yeah,
put
yeah,
them
yeah.
all out on the table. I mean, Twin Twisters is nothing to not be happy about in your opening hand, but especially when your opponent comes first, obviously.
Yeah.
And he was able to follow it up, and still
Yeah.
it wasn't enough.
Whereas if we look at this from the flip side, and if Constantine would have gone first, that could have been a whole different game,
That's true.
because he had Twin Twisters. He could have Twin Twisted the Scout. That would have been a completely different game.
So what does ABC decide against Billy Break?
Not against Metalfoes.
No.
Against Billy Break.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to come up with some like brake pad kind of related humor, but it's just not working.
I can't think of any puns either.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to come up with.
Something that'll put the brakes on Billy Breaks.
Yeah,
Mash.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. There we go.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Especially all the
we
Metalfoes are using brakes because they're all on vehicles.
they're all on vehicles.
See,
yeah,
this just makes so
Sorted.
much sense.
So what is it that Billy might actually side into here?
Does it matter? Billy's just going to play
Yeah,
Billy.
this is true.
Yes, it does matter. It does matter.
I'm only joking. Okay, so let's have a look at his side deck here. So Dimensional Barrier, obviously big one
Oh,
against
yes.
ABCs. You can call two of the four choices of Dimensional Barrier, and yeah, so that's a pretty good one. Typhoons, kind of maybe he would put the Typhoons in, probably not though. DD Crow's a big one because he's going to put it in for to stop the ABC collective.
Mhm.
He's got a couple of kaijus as well. Oh, he's playing Sphere mode as well. So Sphere mode could be good.
So, now it would be interesting to know what these guys are
Yeah.
saying. to be
Unfortunately, we don't have Constantine's deck list with us. But
Yeah.
the kinds of things that he would be putting in, so anti-spell fragrance if he has any of those, Typhoon if he has any of those. He's probably going to go first again, so maybe extra trap cards if he plays any extra trap cards.
He didn't go first in the first game. Billy went first.
No, I'm saying he's going to go first now.
Oh, yeah, I thought I heard it again at the end of the sentence.
Oh.
Sorry. Yes, I think he definitely is going to go first.
Yeah.
Like you just said, that first game would have been a very different game if he would have
Yep.
gone first.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, Billy's not that used to the European way of doing coverage. He's like, why can you not read my face down cards? All right. Constantine's cards are coming in first. We see an empowerment. Not much else.
I actually have no idea
Oh.
what that card is.
Okay, let's bring it up for you guys. Interestingly enough, that was something we kind of expected to see from the Americans, because we had a couple of American players that handed in their deck lists, and then
What is that?
then figured out that the cards weren't legal in Europe yet. So all Dragon Warrior spellcaster type monsters you control gain 300 attack and def. It's a field spell card, obviously. Once per turn you can card one card, special summon one empowered warrior monster from your deck. That's a pretty good effect, I guess, if those empowered warrior monsters are any good. Once per turn you can banish a total of 4 warrior and or spellcaster type monsters from your graveyard. Add 1 ether monster from your deck to your hand.
Right, okay. So he set one of those, and he also set the Twin Twister.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they empowered. So if I just remember these, yeah, it's the summoners. It's the summoners monsters. Is that right?
Yeah, we got the Dragodis, who happens to be an empowered warrior.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they float. That's what they do. I'm unsure though.
The set Twin Twisters was taken care of by an MST, so that's pretty good for Billy, obviously.
Yep.
With him going for that, assembling that pendulum scale.
Yeah, eccentric, his own combination, so that you can go and search.
So there is Dragodis, guys. In case you haven't seen it before, if it's being destroyed by your opponent's attack or card effect, you can add 1 warrior or spellcaster type monster with 2,000 or less attack from your deck to your hand. Like you said, they float, except itself, during the end phase of this turn. So it's a bit like a Scarm.
It's more the pendulum effect there as well is quite good. At the start of the damage step, it can half your opponent's monster's attack and defense.
Mm-hmm. Every monster you control battles, yeah, any really.
But already Billy Brake is just making a huge play.
Yeah, we shouldn't overlook his field. Yeah, it's quite crazy.
Does he have Metalfoes fusion?
Yes, full Metalfoes fusion and Metalfoes fusion.
Oh, okay. Oh, but it's set on the field already, so
Yeah.
you can't use it this turn.
Exactly. But out of cards in his hand, he's just put everything on the table.
Yep.
These are all my chips. I'm going all in.
Okay, so the Metalfoes fusion.
Probably into Mithrilium here so that you can... probably Mithrilium so that you can shuffle back his opponent's face down and just not fear it. Oh, okay, probably with eccentric hours too.
So much stuff. It's like, yeah, I got another answer. I got another answer. But
That's it.
He just gave up.
it's like,
Wow.
Did he just give up because he's like, yeah, okay, I don't want to go up against
No.
Break anymore. I've had it with this Texan. Wow, that was a quick and easy 2-0 victory. I think-
Constantine looks quite kind of upset, disappointed, if more than anything.
Right. I think we got a few things to talk about. Probably
Yeah.
not that many things in our post-game discussion.